Hi, I'm Dr. Anna Lee, a family doctor with over 25 years of experience, trained at the University of Edinburgh and practicing at St. Mary's Health Clinic. I'm here to help seniors improve their health with simple, practical advice you can trust. Picture this: you're walking through a park, watching seniors laugh, stroll, and play with their grandkids. They seem healthy, vibrant, full of life. But beneath the surface, a silent threat could be eating away at their strength. Literally, their bones might be crumbling, and they don't even know it. It's a condition that sneaks up without warning, leaving millions of seniors at risk of fractures, pain, and loss of independence. Before we dive in, how old are you, and what country are you watching from? I'd love to know who's joining us on this health journey. And once again, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss any health videos. I bet they are very necessary for you. This silent epidemic is osteoporosis, a disease where bones become so weak they can break from a simple fall or even a sneeze. It's called the silent thief because it creeps in without symptoms until it's too late. You might feel fine today, but your bones could be losing density, becoming porous like a sponge, ready to snap under the slightest pressure. Shockingly, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 will suffer an osteoporotic fracture in their lifetime. That's millions of people, many of whom have no idea their bones are rotting away. Why? Because the root cause often goes unnoticed, hidden in plain sight, tied to something so common it's part of daily life for most seniors. Osteoporosis isn't just about aging. Yes, our bones naturally lose density as we get older, but there's a critical factor accelerating this process, one that 99% of seniors don't even think about. It's not just calcium or vitamin D. Though those matter, it's something deeper, something you're exposed to every day without realizing it's quietly eroding your skeleton. Imagine a woman named Margaret, 72, who loves her daily walks and gardening. She's active, eats what she thinks is a balanced diet, and feels great. But last month, she tripped on a rug, fractured her wrist, and was stunned to learn she had osteoporosis. Her doctor told her the break wasn't just bad luck. Her bones had been weakening for years, and she never saw it coming. Margaret's story isn't rare. It's happening to seniors everywhere, and the scariest part? Most don't find out until they're in the hospital, staring at an X-ray of a fractured hip or spine. So what's this hidden factor? It's not just about not getting enough nutrients, though that's part of it. It's about how your body processes, or fails to process, key elements that keep your bones strong. Over the years, I've seen patients who exercise, take their supplements, and still end up with brittle bones. Why? Because something in their daily routine is working against them, blocking their body's ability to maintain healthy bone density. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much water you pour in, it keeps leaking out. For seniors, this leak is often tied to a subtle but powerful imbalance that disrupts how your body builds and maintains bone tissue. Let's break it down. Your bones are living tissue, constantly remodeling themselves. Old bone cells break down, and new ones form in a delicate balance. When you're younger, this process is seamless. Your body builds more bone than it loses. But as you age, the balance tips. You start losing bone faster than you can rebuild it. For most seniors, this isn't just a natural slowdown. It's amplified by a specific factor that's so common, it's practically invisible. It's not smoking or drinking, though those don't help. It's not even lack of exercise, though movement is critical. It's something so ordinary that you might be doing it right now, unaware of the damage it's causing. Think about John, a 68-year-old retired teacher. He's diligent about his health, walks every morning, takes his calcium pills, and avoids soda. Yet when he bent down to tie his shoe last year, he felt a sharp pain in his back. A scan revealed a vertebral fracture, and his doctor diagnosed osteoporosis. John was baffled. He thought he was doing everything right. But like so many seniors, he was missing a piece of the puzzle. a factor that was quietly sabotaging his bones. This isn't about scaring you. It's about waking you up to a reality that can be changed. By understanding what's really going on, you can take steps to protect yourself before a fracture steals your independence. In my years at St. Mary's, I've seen this pattern over and over. Seniors come in, shocked by a diagnosis they never expected, asking, "How did this happen?" The answer lies in something so ingrained in daily life that it's easy to overlook. It's not just about what you're not doing, it's about what you're doing, day after day, that's tipping the scales toward bone loss. By the time you finish this podcast, you'll know exactly what this factor is, how it's affecting you, and what you can do to stop it. But first, we need to dig into the science of why your bones are weakening and why this hidden culprit is so hard to spot. The reality of osteoporosis is that it's not just about aging bones. It's about a hidden culprit that accelerates their decay, often tied to a common dietary deficiency most seniors don't even notice. Let's dive into what's really going on inside your body. Your bones are like a bank account. You need to deposit more than you withdraw to stay strong. But for many seniors, a critical nutrient shortfall is draining that account faster than they realize. This isn't just about calcium or vitamin D, though those are vital. The hidden factor we're talking about today is a deficiency in magnesium, a mineral so essential yet so overlooked that it's silently undermining the skeletal health of millions. Magnesium is the unsung hero of bone health. It's involved in over 300 processes in your body, including the activation of vitamin D, which helps your body absorb calcium. Without enough magnesium, your body can't properly use the calcium you're taking in. No matter how many supplements you swallow, it's like trying to build a house without a foundation. The materials just don't hold. Studies show that about 60% of adults, especially seniors, don't get enough magnesium. Why? Because modern diets are loaded with processed foods, which are stripped of this vital mineral, and aging bodies absorb it less efficiently from what little is left in their food. Let's paint a picture with Sarah, a 70-year-old grandmother who prides herself on her homemade meals. She eats yogurt for calcium, gets sunlight for vitamin D, and thinks she's covered. But last year, she slipped in her kitchen and broke her ankle. Her doctor ran tests and found her magnesium levels were critically low. Sarah was stunned. She'd never even thought about magnesium. Her diet, heavy in refined grains and light on magnesium-rich foods like nuts, seeds, and leafy greens, was quietly starving her bones. This is the trap so many seniors fall into. They focus on calcium and vitamin D, but miss the mineral that makes those nutrients work. Why is magnesium so critical? It regulates the balance between bone-building cells, osteoblasts, and bone-breaking cells, osteoclasts. When magnesium is low, osteoclasts go into overdrive, breaking down bone faster than your body can rebuild it. It's like a demolition crew working overtime while the construction team is on strike. Over time, this imbalance turns your bones into fragile, porous structures, ready to fracture at the slightest stress. And here's the kicker: magnesium deficiency doesn't just affect your bones. It can cause muscle cramps, fatigue, even irregular heart rhythms, symptoms many seniors chalk up to just getting old. Let's look at another example. Tom, a 75-year-old retired mechanic, loved his routine of coffee and toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and a frozen dinner at night. He took a multivitamin, thinking it covered his bases. But when he fell off a step stool and fractured his hip, tests revealed his magnesium levels were barely half of what they should be. His diet, like so many seniors, was low in whole foods like spinach, almonds, or beans, foods naturally rich in magnesium. Processed foods, medications like diuretics, and even stress can deplete magnesium further, creating a perfect storm for bone loss. The problem is sneaky because magnesium deficiency doesn't show up on a standard blood test the way low iron or vitamin D might. Only about 1% of your body's magnesium is in your blood. The rest is in your bones and tissues. So you could be deficient for years and not know it until a bone snaps. And it's not just diet. Modern farming practices have depleted soil of magnesium, meaning even healthy foods like vegetables have less of it than they did 50 years ago. Add to that the fact that aging guts absorb less magnesium, and you've got a recipe for a deficiency that's practically epidemic among seniors. But it's not just about what you're not eating. Certain habits make it worse. Drinking too much coffee or alcohol can flush magnesium out of your system. Some medications, like proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux or diuretics for blood pressure, do the same. Even stress, a daily reality for many seniors dealing with health issues or loss, burns through magnesium like kindling. I've seen patients in my clinic who eat relatively well, but are still deficient because their bodies are under constant strain, whether from chronic illness or emotional stress. The good news, this is fixable. Recognizing magnesium's role is the first step. By understanding how this deficiency sneaks into your life, you can start making small changes to turn the tide. It's not about overhauling your entire diet overnight, but about knowing where to focus. For Sarah and Tom, simply adding magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds or a daily handful of spinach made a measurable difference in their follow-up tests. But it's not just about food. There are other factors in your daily routine that could be working against your bones, and we'll dig into those next. Now that we've uncovered magnesium deficiency as a major culprit in bone loss, let's talk about how your everyday habits might be making things worse. It's not just about what you eat or don't eat. Your daily routines, from what you drink to how you move, can either protect your bones or accelerate their decay. Many seniors, without realizing it, are stuck in patterns that tip the scales toward osteoporosis. These aren't dramatic choices like smoking or heavy drinking, but subtle, repetitive habits that add up over time, quietly eroding the foundation of your skeletal health. Take coffee, for example. A morning cup is a ritual for millions, but drinking too much can sabotage your bones. Caffeine increases the excretion of magnesium and calcium through urine, depleting the very nutrients your bones need. I met a patient, Linda, 69, who drank 4 cups of coffee a day, thinking it was harmless. She was active, walked her dog daily, and took calcium supplements. But when she fractured her forearm lifting a grocery bag, tests showed low magnesium and bone density. Cutting back to 1 cup a day and switching to decaf for her afternoon pick-me-up helped stabilize her levels. It wasn't easy for her. She loved her coffee, but small changes made a big difference. Then there's soda, a hidden enemy for many seniors. The phosphoric acid in colas binds to calcium in your gut, preventing absorption. Imagine pouring calcium into a sieve. It just slips away. I had a patient, Robert, 73, who loved his daily diet cola. He thought it was a safe treat since it was sugar-free. But when he started having back pain and a scan revealed early bone loss, we traced part of the problem to his soda habit. Swapping it for water or herbal tea wasn't a cure-all, but it stopped the calcium drain. These drinks aren't just neutral. They actively work against your bones. Another habit that sneaks up is sitting too much. Sedentary lifestyles are a silent killer for bone health. Your bones need stress, good stress, like weight-bearing exercise, to stay strong. When you sit for hours, whether watching TV or reading, your bones aren't getting the signals to rebuild. Mary, a 71-year-old retiree, spent hours each day knitting. She thought she was healthy because she ate well and took vitamins. But after a hip fracture from a minor fall, we learned her sedentary habits were a major factor. Starting with short walks and simple strength exercises, like standing leg lifts, helped her rebuild some bone density. It's not about running marathons. Small movements, like standing up every hour or walking around the house, can make a difference. Medications are another overlooked issue. Many seniors take drugs that, while necessary, can harm bones over time. Proton pump inhibitors, used for acid reflux, reduce magnesium and calcium absorption. Steroids, often prescribed for arthritis or lung conditions, weaken bones directly. Diuretics, common for blood pressure, flush out magnesium. I saw this with James, 76, who was on a diuretic and a reflux medication. He fractured his wrist playing golf, a sport he'd done for years without issue. After reviewing his meds, we worked with his doctor to adjust his regimen and add magnesium-rich foods. It didn't fix everything overnight, but it slowed the damage. Stress is another bone thief. Chronic stress raises cortisol, a hormone that breaks down bone tissue and interferes with magnesium absorption. For seniors, stress can come from health worries, financial strain, or losing a loved one. I remember Ellen, 70, who was caring for her sick husband. She was exhausted, stressed, and barely eating well. When she fractured her spine, bending to pick up laundry, we found her cortisol levels were sky high, and her magnesium was low. Simple stress relief practices, like deep breathing and short walks, along with dietary tweaks, helped her start rebuilding her strength. Even sleep habits matter. Poor sleep disrupts hormones that regulate bone remodeling. Seniors who skimp on sleep, whether from insomnia or staying up late, aren't giving their bodies time to repair bone tissue. I advised a patient, George, 74, to prioritize sleep after he kept waking up tired and achy. His bone density scans improved slightly after he started a nighttime routine to wind down, avoiding screens and caffeine late in the day. These habits, coffee, soda, sitting, medications, stress, and poor sleep, aren't unique. They're part of daily life for millions of seniors. The problem is their cumulative effect. Each one might seem small, but together they're like termites eating away at your bones. The good news is you don't need to overhaul your life. Small tweaks, like cutting back on caffeine, taking short walks, or managing stress, can stop the damage and set the stage for rebuilding. Next, we'll explore how to turn these insights into practical steps to strengthen your bones and reclaim your health. We've uncovered the silent threat of osteoporosis, pinpointed magnesium deficiency as a hidden culprit, and exposed everyday habits that erode bone health. Now let's focus on what you can do to rebuild stronger bones and protect your independence. The good news is that your bones are living tissue, capable of repair and strengthening, even in your later years. By making targeted, practical changes, you can reverse bone loss, reduce fracture risk, and feel more confident in your body. It's not about drastic overhauls, but about smart, sustainable steps that fit into your life. First, let's address magnesium, the cornerstone we discussed earlier. Boosting your intake doesn't mean popping pills right away. Start with food: leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts like almonds and cashews, and seeds like pumpkin or chia are magnesium powerhouses. A patient of mine, Clara, 72, started adding a handful of almonds to her afternoon snack and a side of steamed spinach to dinner. Within months, her blood work showed improved magnesium levels, and she felt more energetic. Aim for 320 to 420 milligrams of magnesium daily. Women need slightly less, men a bit more. A cup of cooked spinach gives you about 150 milligrams, and a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds adds another 190 milligrams. It's doable without supplements, but if your diet falls short, talk to your doctor about a high-quality magnesium citrate or glycinate supplement, as these are easier for aging bodies to absorb. Next, rethink your movement. Weight-bearing and strength exercises are non-negotiable for bone health. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment. Walking is a great start, 30 minutes most days, at a pace where you can talk but not sing. Add simple strength moves like chair squats or wall push-ups 2 to 3 times a week. I worked with Henry, 74, who started with 10-minute walks and 5 chair squats daily. A year later, his bone density scan showed slight improvement, and he felt steadier on his feet. The key is consistency. Your bones respond to regular stress by growing stronger. If you have mobility issues, even standing and shifting your weight from foot to foot while holding a counter can help. Just move every day. Don't forget balance exercises to prevent falls, which are the biggest threat to weak bones. Try standing on one leg for 10 seconds, then switching, or walking heel to toe in a straight line. Dorothy, 70, practiced these daily after a near fall scared her. She avoided a fracture when she tripped months later because her balance had improved. These small drills, done for 5 minutes daily, can be a game changer. Diet goes beyond magnesium. Calcium and vitamin D are still critical. Aim for 1,200 milligrams of calcium daily through foods like yogurt, cheese, or fortified plant milks. A cup of plain yogurt has about 300 milligrams. For vitamin D, 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight exposure a few times a week helps. But many seniors need 800 to 1,000 IU from supplements, especially in winter or if you're indoors often. Check with your doctor for a blood test to know your levels. And don't skip protein. It's the scaffolding for bone repair. Lean meats, beans, or eggs are great sources. A patient, Susan, 71, added a boiled egg to breakfast and a small chicken breast to dinner, which helped her muscle strength and bone health. Cut back on bone-draining habits. Limit coffee to 1 or 2 cups daily, and switch to water or herbal tea for other drinks. Ditch sodas, especially colas, which leach calcium. If you're on medications like diuretics or proton pump inhibitors, ask your doctor about alternatives or ways to offset their effects, like timing your magnesium intake. Manage stress with simple practices. Deep breathing for 5 minutes or a short walk can lower cortisol, which protects your bones. Sleep is just as crucial. Aim for 7 to 8 hours nightly, with a consistent bedtime. Avoid screens an hour before bed to improve sleep quality, as poor sleep disrupts bone-building hormones. Finally, get screened. A bone density scan, or DEXA, is the gold standard for catching osteoporosis early. If you're over 65 or have risk factors like a family history or past fractures, ask your doctor about it. Early detection lets you act before a break happens. I've seen patients like Margaret, 73, who got a DEXA after a minor fall. It caught her osteoporosis early, and with diet, exercise, and medication tweaks, she's avoided fractures for years. These steps, magnesium-rich foods, movement, balance, smart diet choices, habit adjustments, and screenings, work together. They're not quick fixes, but a blueprint for stronger bones. Start small. Add 1 magnesium-rich food today. Take a 10-minute walk or try a balance drill. Build from there. Your bones can get stronger, and you can stay active and independent for years to come. You've learned that osteoporosis isn't just an inevitable part of aging. It's a condition you can fight by addressing magnesium deficiency, rethinking daily habits, and taking proactive steps. Start today with one change, maybe a handful of almonds or a short walk. These small actions add up, protecting your bones and your future. At St. Mary's, I've seen seniors transform their health with these strategies, avoiding fractures and regaining confidence. You don't need to feel helpless. Your bones are living, adaptable, and ready to respond to your efforts. Take control now and share this with someone you care about. Let's keep the conversation going. Comment below with your first step or any questions. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening.